Good morning. Today we are doing 2.2a, which is adding integers. So to start off, we can always look at a number line to add and subtract integers. Integers are just whole numbers or counting numbers. So it says, what addition problem does the number line show? What is the sum? Sum means we are adding two numbers together. So first, when we look at a number line, we always start at the middle at 0. So I know this bolded line is hard for you to see on your notes, but the bolded line goes to the left first. If we're moving to the left, we are moving negative, so they tell us right here we're going negative 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to write first we went negative 6. Then we're going to combine this, or move in the other direction, a positive 11. They told us we're going 11 positive. If we wanted to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, we could. And then our answer is wherever we end up. So we end up right here at the end at 5. So if we don't know what negative 6 plus 11 is, we can use our number line to help us. There are a lot of other ways we can figure out what the sum or adding up two numbers is, and that's why we have a song. So I know you don't have this slide, but I'm going to play a song for you, and then we will use the words in this song to solve some problems. So before the song plays, this is to the theme of row, row, row your boat, which is why there's a boat here. And it says same sign, add and keep. What they mean by the same sign is either both positive numbers or both negative numbers. If you have two numbers that are the same sign, you will add them together and keep the sign. If they're both positive, it stays positive. If they're both negative, it'll stay negative. But if you have different signs, like one positive and one negative, you're really going to subtract the numbers. Once you subtract them, just the biggest number minus the smallest number, you'll keep the sign of the higher number. For example, if you have negative 8 and 5 and you're adding them together, 8 is a bigger number than 5 and there's more negatives here. So you'll keep the sign of the higher number, like this negative, and then you'll be... Here is our song.
Subtract, keep the sign of the higher number, then it'll be exact. Same signs add, keep different signs subtract, keep the sign of the higher number, then it'll be exact. Same signs add and keep different signs subtract, keep the sign of the higher number, then it'll be exact.
So that is our song. I know it sounds a little bit creepy, but it works, and it's an easy way to remember how to add and subtract. So here are the words again. We are going to find the sum. Again, sum just means adding two numbers together. So this is a negative, and this is a positive. So these are different signs, so we're really going to subtract them. Biggest number minus the smallest, 9 minus 3 is going to give us 6. And then keep the sign of the higher number. There's more positives, so our answer is a positive. You don't need to put the plus, but it might help you. Same thing here. This is a negative combined with another negative. Same sign, so these are the same sign. We're going to add them together. 18 plus 1 is 19. And keep the sign. They're all negative, so it stays negative. This is because this is one negative and this is like 18 negatives. If we listed out 18 negatives, there are a total of 19 negatives. If we went back to this one, this would be like 3 negatives and 9 positives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. A negative and a positive make 0, so we'd have 6 left over. This one we have positive and negative. They're different signs, so we're going to subtract. Biggest number minus the smallest, 27 minus 20 is 7. And then keep the sign of the higher number. There's more negatives than there are positives, so our answer is a negative 7. Down here we have a positive and a negative. Different signs, we're going to subtract. So 14 minus 11, if you're not sure, you can write it out. We get 3. And there are more negatives, so it's a negative 3. If instead you'd prefer to use the number line, there are number lines on your desks, and there's one right here for you. Starting at 0, you could go negative 11, oops, not negative 11, positive 11 first to here, and then it says combine with a negative 14, and negative 14 we would count back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and we end at negative 3, exactly like it says right here. This one, negative 7 and a positive 13, different sign, subtract. 13 minus 7 should give us 6, and they're more positive, so it's a positive. And our last one, negative 9 combined with a negative 4, same sign, add and keep. 9 plus 4 is 13, and keep the negative sign. Again, if you want to use the number line instead, we went first to negative 9, and then we went another negative 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, so we end at negative 13. Flip over to the back side. Now we have what's called the commutative property. The order in which you add two numbers does not change the sum, or whatever we're adding or subtracting here, or adding. So a plus b is the same as b plus a. And like it says here, negative 2 plus 8 is the same as 8 plus negative 2. So if we wanted to flip this around, we could say 11 plus negative 3, which is the same as just 11 minus 3. And 11 minus 3 is going to give us 8. If we did that this way, positive, negative, different sign, subtract. 11 minus 3 is 8, and there's more positives. Same thing here. This is 9 plus a negative 5, or just 9 minus 5. 9 minus 5 gives us 4. Or positive, negative, different sign, subtract. There's more positives, so it's positive. This one I'm just going to do like we've been doing. Different sign, subtract. 16 minus 6 is just 10. And then there's more positives, so it's a positive 10. And then last, we have a negative and a positive. Again, different sign, subtract. 8 minus 4 is 4. But there's more negatives, so it's a negative 4. If you need to stop the video at any time, please feel free and check your work. This is a review of the previous day. Remember, absolute values like our shower, anything that goes in the shower comes out clean or positive, so this comes out a positive 5. Absolute value is the distance from 0, so we counted 5 spots to 0. But this negative means somebody was outside your shower, and your answer is also negative. Here, these are parentheses. They are curved, different than absolute value. This is just telling us we have the opposite of negative 9, or two negatives are going to make a positive. Here, same thing. Two negatives are going to make a positive. The opposite of negative 4 is positive 4, but then there's the opposite again, which makes it a negative. Absolute value, anything that goes in the shower comes out clean, so it should just be a positive 7. And then last, don't let this one trick you. This is 16, and now there's a negative, so now it's just negative 16, or the opposite of 16. Alright, this last one is where people get a little confused, because you try to put them in order right away. We need to simplify first. So if we simplify this, well, negative 7 we can't simplify, it's just negative 7. Here, the opposite of negative 10 becomes a positive 10. Negative 15 goes in the shower dirty, comes out clean or positive. This one, again, we can't change it. Here we have 2, now we have the opposite, so it's negative 2. The opposite again becomes a positive 2. Last one, little tricky, anything that goes in the shower dirty comes out clean, but then there's a negative on the outside, so it's back negative again. So, putting these in order from least to greatest, so looking for our smallest number, or the most negative number. We have 3 negative numbers. The biggest negative number on our number line, remember zeros here, negative numbers, positive numbers. Biggest negative number would be the smallest, so negative 13. And it says here, write in the original form. Negative 13 was the original form, so I didn't really need to change it. But our next biggest negative number is negative 9, so write it in the original form like this. The absolute value of negative 9. Then the only negative number left is negative 7. Then 2, so write the opposite of negative 2. Cross them off as you go. And then 10, the opposite of negative 10. And then our greatest is 15, the absolute value of negative 15. So those are now in order from least to greatest. That's it.